I just wanted to show you my palette, and of course I'm using freezer paper. I almost always use freezer paper. Up here at the top is white to black with two different shades of gray. Then we have a phthalo blue with a little bit of white, more white, and this blue is blue with gray in it. Then we have an earth green, a green gold, a black. This color is Utrecht's cad-free orange, Indian yellow with white. I've gone over my blues, and this is a phthalo green, and this one is lagoon blue. It's probably one of my favorite colors, lagoon blue. And then lagoon blue with phthalo in it. This is phthalo with some Indian yellow. And then various shades of lagoon blue and phthalo and gray. And here is Payne's gray with some phthalo green in it. Then we have Payne's gray with white, and then we have phthalo blue with white and with gray. So those are basically the colors that I'm going to use. I've decided to go with blue flowers, and I may add a little bit of purple at the end. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with blue as my dominant color. And we artists have a right to change our mind, as we all know. So that's my palette. So when I go to grab colors, you'll know exactly what I'm using. We are ready to, or I should say, I am ready to start this painting. And I just showed you my palette, and I'm going to try to remember to tell you what color I'm using as I'm using it. So we will see. And I have already changed my mind on this. Instead of purple, I'm going with blue. And I want a lighter background, like more of a white with a little bit of the yellow showing through. So I'm going to cover it with white, and then I'm just going to start painting it, even though it's already wet. So here we go. And I will be using a palette knife, and occasionally I will be using my oiler boiler, which reminds me, I had a couple questions on my oiler boiler. Let me get it out so you can see what it looks like. This is the oiler boiler. This is what it looks like right here. And I have Gamasol in it. And the Gamasol is the odorless solvent by Gamblin. And Gamasol is spelled Gamsol. And you take this off, and you have this beautiful little point. Can you see that point? And this is the one with the blue nib. They also make one with a pink nib, and the pink one has a larger needle, so you get a wider line. I prefer the blue one, but occasionally I'll use the pink one as well, so it just depends. And as you're using them, I don't know if I mentioned it before, what you want to do when you use an oiler boiler, you want to, after you finish using it, squirt a little bit out on a paper towel. Like so. That way you know that that point is not clogged. A lot of times you're going to end up touching that wax, and you definitely do not want to touch the wax because the wax goes down into the hole. So as soon as you realize you've touched the wax, wipe it off real quickly, and then always squeeze some out. And should you get it clogged up, and occasionally you may, if I can open this, I have so much. Should you get it clogged up, what you want to do is unscrew this top and turn it upside down into the solvent and leave it in there at least overnight. And that way, should it get clogged, it should unclog it. If it doesn't unclog it after 12 to 24 hours, you may as well throw that nib out because it's no good. So that's what it looks like. I get them off of Amazon, and if you go into Amazon, just search oiler boiler, and these will come up. There's several different manufacturers. There's one that's called Fine Line. I don't use that one because I can't. They have a top on it like this top, but it has a needle and it goes down into that needle. With my eyes, I have trouble using it, but some people swear by the Fine Line. I like this type better, so it's all personal preference. So that is the oiler boiler, and I use this to do my solvent pools and do drips and things like that. So okay, we're going to start painting now. And as I said, I had decided to use a white, more of a white background. Hoping some of my lines show through. Maybe I'll try. I'm going to try my bowl scraper. See if I can get better coverage. And you can still see some of my lines, which is a good thing. Okay, and I check it in the screen often. It's like a mirror. So when you see me looking into the screen, you know what I'm doing. And this is kind of a buff color. It's actually, wow, I don't know how I picked up that yellow, but I kind of like it. Because I don't want my background to be the same color everywhere. See, I don't know if you can see that, but I touched the wax right there. So, see if you can see this. I have wax on my nib, so I'm going to wipe it off and then squeeze it into a paper towel. That way I know that the point is not clogged. Now I have to wait just a couple seconds for this, and I'm going to pull it. Okay, now I'm going to start painting. I think I'm going to put some of my darks on first. And this is a combination of the Payne's Gray and Phthalo Green. Sometimes it has more green into it, other times it has more blue into it. And this is just my darks. You can see when I'm mixing with the white, it automatically changes color, which is fine with me. I have no problem with that. A little bit of green into it. Wasn't enough. This is Green Earth by Gamblin. Put a little bit into it over in here. This is green gold. I'm not sure how that's going to look, but I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, I like it. Ooh. A couple things that I want to be sure of. I don't want anything to be as high as this. And I want this to be a little bit higher than that. And I don't want these to end at the same spot. Now you can see right now it is. So I'm going to have to do something about that. And this, if you can see, is the same width. So I'm going to have to do something about that as well. I might do that later. I might put some glue over that. Quite a bit of green in there, which I like. This green is the green gold. A little bit of dark into that. This is the green gold with a little bit of orange and a little bit of Indian yellow in it. Ooh, yes! Okay, I'm liking the way that looks. Now I'm going to go into one of the darker shades of blue. This was the one I said that I had to change because it was the same width. I think I'm going to put some white right there just to, maybe I'll just pull it this way. Yeah, that works better. That looks better. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get some drippy paint. See if I can get that to drip a little bit. And that's just Gamsol with a little bit of solvent-free gel in it and some oil paint. Okay, I'm liking that. Just adding a little bit of Gamsol to it. I wasn't going to use a brush, but there I used it. And I want to keep blotting this so it doesn't pool at the bottom. I'll add more lines later. I'm not going to fuss with it right now. So I like those lines, and when you do drip lines, you want to make sure that they're not the same space between each one of them. You want to vary spaces. So maybe I'll just have one big line right here and here. Okay, now I'm ready to start, and I did put some blue in here, and I changed that up a little bit, so I'm happy with that. For now. Now I'm going to start putting more color in. The palette knife that I'm using is this. It's a square. It's a painting knife, and it has a squared tip. I prefer those. And the color I'm using now is the cobalt teal. It has gray into it. That's graded down, so it's not a pure color. And when I use a color somewhere, I usually use it elsewhere also. Now I like it when the color mixes with the color underneath it, because this is so wet and I am just barely touching it. If I can, I thought maybe I could zoom it in, but I'll do that when I go to edit. So I'm going to have this color in various places. See how wet it is as soon as I touch it. As soon as I touch it, it makes marks. Ooh, I like that. It's too early to fall in love with this painting. This color is indigo with some earth green into it. I think I'm going to put some indigo on top of it, just to change it up a bit. Now I'm going to go to, that was the deeper cobalt teal. Now I'm going to go to a lighter cobalt. Well, maybe I'll go into the pure. This is the pure color. You should be able to see a difference. A little bit of difference, not a whole lot. Oh yeah, you can see it there. Now I'm going to go into the lighter color. Gold with white in it.
It is what it is. You know, what do you do? And then I got Barry to deal with, so I got to, you know, go with the flow. So, yeah, I know. It's been 5 years now. It's coming. It'll be 5 years. We're together 13, but it'll be 5 years. So we're at Millworks. We're having brunch here. So I will. Hey, I just.
This is phthalo blue with a lot of white into it. I like that blue. And I'm going to step back and take another look at it. coming along very well. What I don't like about it from a distance is this is pointing in this direction. I want it to point down, so I have to fix that. I'm just going to paint this, and then I'm going to just do it over. Who knows, I might like it better. Yeah, I like that. A little bit of color down there. I like that little bit of color right there. I like that a lot. Maybe not quite right. Let's cover some of it up. Yep, I like that. And I did have a lot of white mixed up. I have to fix this area right here. Because it was pointing out, and I didn't want it to point out. I say it was so wet, it kind of blended, so I don't know if we're going to keep that or not. We will see. We will see. See, this was too wet. This one spread out. And I'm going to bring you closer so you can see how that spread out. Can you see how that spread out there? So I'm going to let that dry up a little bit. In fact, I'm going to blot it and then I'm going to try it a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to go back to the flowers. That's enough of that. And these different blues I'm using, they're just variations of the cobalt teal and the phthalo blue. There's lots of white in it.
Oh, watch it. I got one to take that. You got it? I must send it. Okay, on that, okay. Definitely not.
You're more than welcome to walk around.
Thank you.
There's actually 3 of us in here, myself, my husband, and my daughter. You can walk around.
Oh, no, I'm watching the painting that you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you're doing one right now.
Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. This is oil and wax.
That would look so nice in our living room.
I want to try to make that white area be part of the composition. You bet. I need something right here. And I think it's going to be very, very light flowers going into. You know what? I'm just wondering if I should draw some lines with a brush. Let's try it. This is Payne's Gray with a little bit of black in it. I don't know if I like that one. I do like this one. I have a very thin brush. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just fill this area in with some light blue. I have to get a different palette knife, but a smaller palette knife. I can find a smaller one. Okay, I'm going to take another look at this. It just needs something right there. And what is it? I think. Yep, that's what it was. It was dark. Now, I think I'm going to flick some color up in here.
I can't even see that going onto the canvas.
You have to be close. It's,
Just like tiny speckles.
yeah. Very, very light.
Have a wonderful afternoon.
And you too.
It's going to be like 70 degrees out there.
Oh, wonderful. I'm anxious to get outside. Yeah, I drew that one in. I like it better. Okay, I'm going to quit for now, and I'm going to look at it tomorrow. There's a couple things I probably will change. I might push some of this back, and I'm going to do something different in here. So I'm going to call this finished for today, and I will give you a good, maybe I'll bring this down the whole way. What do you think? Let's do that, and then we'll make a decision. No, we don't like that either. So I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to put white on it for now. And then next time I come in, it's Sunday here, and I don't come in on Mondays. So I will be working on this again on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So that's what the plan is. See, now these are close. Doesn't look too bad like that. Put a little bit of green in it. Okay, I like that better. So I know I need something going up this way. Some kind of a, let's do it. If we don't like it, then we'll take it out again. Maybe. We'll let it be. Let it be for now. I thank you for watching, and I'll be working on this. Since today's Sunday, I don't come in on Mondays. Sometimes I come in on Tuesdays. It just depends. So I might come in Tuesday. I'm definitely coming in Wednesday because one of my clients is coming in to pick up a painting. So I will be in Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll finish it up at that point in time. But I am liking it, what I'm seeing right now. So thanks, guys. And I will do a close-up and a photo like I usually do. Okay, this is what it looks like straight on. Not 100% happy with it yet, but we'll see what tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday brings. But here's some close-ups. You can still see some of my lines down there. Particularly see my lines up in there that I made earlier, and up in there you can see some of them. So that's what it looks like right now. I'll back out. Thanks, guys.